Hi, greetings and good day to respected lecturers, representatives from TM Enviro, and fellow classmates. We are from Group 16, and today my name is Abdullah from Malacca, and we will start with introducing our colleague, start from Zulhamdi.
Good day, everyone. My name is Muhammad Zulamdi bin Zaidun. I'm from Laka.
Greetings and good day, everyone. My name is Mohan Roy. I'm from Bandar Saujana Putra Jenjaro.
Good day, everyone. My name is Liu Isan. I'm from Malacca.
Good day, everyone. My name is Muhammad Kaiza and I'm from Malacca.
Okay, and today we will be presenting our strategic growth and financial readiness analysis for TM Enviro Industries. Okay, during our assessment, we found that TM Enviro operates in an industry with strong long-term potentials. TM Enviro has developed several strengths over the years, including nationwide operations, recognized industry certification, and experience in e-waste recycling. However, while growth opportunities are clearly available, our findings suggest that the main challenge is not market demands. Instead, the company's ability to expand its constraint by its current financial positions and limited financial flexibility. With that in mind, our presentation focused on how TM Enviro can strengthen its financial readiness while pursuing sustainable growth opportunities. Let us begin by looking at the company's current strategic positions. This presentation outlines the strategic growth and financial readiness analysis of TM Enviro Sdn Bhd. The analysis identified that TM Enviro has achieved a strong operational recovery, evidenced by a 42% revenue increase from 6 million to 9 million and a retail profitability in 2024. However, this recovery must significantly underlying financial fragility, including weak liquidity, negative equity, and high leverage, which constrain sustainable scaling. The presentation therefore shifts the narrative from celebrating recovery to addressing structural limitation. The core conclusion is that TM Enviro is strategically well positioned in high growth ESG and EV sector, but must urgently transition from a low margin, volume driven model to a margin driven, capital efficient growth strategies. The execution summary clearly highlights three prioritized recommendations. First, scaling high margin IT asset disposition IT service. Second, expanding into Jakarta using an asset light partnership model. And third, strengthening the balance sheet through equity financings. These actions together aim to stabilize finance, unlock profitability, and position TM Enviro as a scalable regional ESG platform rather than a financially constrained recycler. Next, pass to my colleagues.
For company overview and business model, TM Enviro Industries operates within the environmental service sector, focusing primarily on e-waste recycling, IT asset disposal (ITAD), and metal recovery activities. The company's business model centers on collecting end-of-life electronic products from corporate, processing these materials through recycling and recovery operation, and extracting economic value via reusable materials, refurbishment, and secure disposal services. Revenue is generated through service fees, resale of recovered materials, and value-added ITAD services such as certified data destruction. While these models allows TM Enviro to participate in multiple parts of the circular economy, the current revenue mix is heavily weighted toward traditional recycling, which is inherently volume-driven and low margin. Understanding this baseline is critical as the subsequent strategic recommendation focus on reshaping the service mix to prioritize higher margin, lower capital intensity offering that better align with the company financial constraint and long-term growth ambition. Next slide, please. For industry trend and ECG market drivers, the global e-waste and ECG services industries is expressing sustained growth driven by accelerating digitalization, stricter environmental regulation, and rising corporate ECG accountability. Global e-waste reach approximately 6 to 62 billion kilogram in 2022, yet only about 2.3% is formally recycled, highlighting a significant gap between waste creation and compliant disposal capacity. From a financial perspective, the global e-waste management market is projected to grow at a CAGR of around 8%, while the ITAD sub-segment is expanding even faster at roughly 10 to 11% annually. Additional demand drivers include stricter data protection regulation, shorter IT equipment life cycle, and increased requirement for certified disposal and audit trails. In Southeast Asia, particularly ASEAN market, former recycling infrastructure remain undeveloped, creating a substantial opportunity for certified operator entering via capital efficient model. This trend strongly support the strategic shift toward ITAD and regional expansion as they favor companies that deliver compliance, security, and ACG credibility rather than low-cost volume processing. Next, I pass to my friend.
Now let's look at TM Enviro financial performance. The good news is that the company has shown a significant recovery in 2024. Revenue increased from 6.51 million in 2023 to 9.24 million in 2024, representing a 42% year-on-year growth. More importantly, the company returned to profitability, recording a profit after tax of 424,635 after reporting losses in the previous year. At first glance, these results are very encouraging because they reflect stronger market demand and improved operational performance. However, when we look beyond the revenue growth, we notice that the net profit margin is only around 4.6%. In other words, for every 100 ringgit of revenue generated, the company retains only about 4 ringgit and 60 cents as profit. This tells us that although sales have increased, profitability remains relatively low. The main reason is that a large portion of the company revenue still comes from traditional recycling activities, which are highly volume driven and generally operate on a lower profit margins. Therefore, while TM Enviro is clearly moving in the right direction, revenue growth alone is not enough. The next priority is to improve profitability by expanding into a higher value and higher margin services. Next slide, thank you. While the income statement shows signs of recovery, the balance sheet tells a different story. When we examine TM Enviro financial position, we identify several financial challenges that could limit its future growth. First, the company has a current ratio of approximately 0.72. This means its short-term liability exceeds its short-term assets, placing pressure on working capital and day-to-day cash flow. Secondly, total liabilities exceed total assets, resulting in a negative equity position. This indicates that the company has accumulated historical losses and currently operates with a highly leveraged capital structure. In addition, the debt to asset ratio is approximately 168%, indicating a relatively high level of financial risk. Although the company has returned to profitability, its cash flow and financial flexibility remain limited. Although the company has returned, this means that relying heavily on additional borrowing to finance expansion could increase financial pressure rather than support sustainable growth. Therefore, based on our analysis, the immediate priority is not aggressive expansion, but strengthening the company's financial position first. Once the balance sheet becomes healthier, TM Enviro will be in a much stronger position to invest in future growth opportunities. With that, I will now hand over to presenter number 4, who will explain our recommended growth strategies. Thank you.
Under growth strategy evaluation, IT asset disposition, ITAD, is identified as the most attractive growth opportunity for TM Enviro due to its superior financial and strategic characteristics. ITAD services, which include secure data destruction, refurbishment, resale, and certified disposal, offer operating margin of approximately 20%, significantly higher than traditional recycling. From a capital perspective, ITAD required relatively moderate upfront investment compared to heavy recycle infrastructure, making it well suited to a financially constrained firm. A 5-year financial projection for an ITAD expansion project based on an initial investment of 1.2 million generate a positive net present value of approximately 440,000 and an internal rate of return of around 22 to 23%, well above the assumed discount rate of 10%. This result confirms that ITAD expansion is value accretive, cash generative, and aligned with market demand drivers such as ESG compliance and data security regulation. Strategically, prioritizing ITAD allows TM Enviro to reposition itself as a high-value ESG partner rather than a low-margin recycler. Next. In addition to ITAD, two complementary growth initiatives support TM Enviro strategic transformation. First, enhancing metal recovery capability through improved extraction technologies can increase revenue per unit of e-waste by recovering higher value material such as copper and gold. This initiative improves margin without materially increasing collective volume. Second, the proposed expansion into Jakarta represents a high-growth geographic opportunity, as Indonesia's formal e-waste recycling rate is estimated at only around 5%. Instead of pursuing capital-intensive standalone facilities, TN Enviro should enter via partnership or joint ventures with local players, leveraging its expertise in ITAD, ESG compliance, and data security. This asset-light approach minimizes capital expenditure, reduces execution risk, and enables faster market entry. Together, this initiative diversifies revenue, enhances margin, and supports regional growth while respecting the company's financial constraints. Next. For capital strategy and valuation implication, based on current financial condition, equity financing is identified as the most appropriate and sustainable funding route. Raising equity capital would strengthen the balance sheet, improve working capital, reduce financial risk, and enable investment in high-margin initiatives such as ITAD. Debt financing, by contrast, should be only used selectively due to high credit risk. From a valuation perspective, market comparable analysis suggests a current enterprise value in the range 7 million to 11 million, reflecting financial weakness despite strong industrial growth potential. Successfully execution of ITAD expansion and margin improvement could justify a valuation re-rating from 12 million to 18 million over the medium term. This valuation uplift provided a compelling narrative of ESG focus and strategic investors, reinforcing the case of equity funding as both a stabilizing and value-creating mechanism. Next, I pass to next presenter.
Next, I will present our strategy roadmap. After identifying our recommendation, the next step is implementing them through a practical roadmap. Our first priority is to stabilize the company financial position by securing equity financing. This will improve liquidity and provide the capital needed for future investment. The second priority is to expand ITAD services. This will improve profitability by generating higher margin revenue and stronger cash flow. Finally, once the business is financially stronger, the TM Enviro can pursue regional expansion through an asset-light partnership model, starting with Jakarta. By following this phased approach, TM Enviro can achieve sustainable growth while managing financial risk effectively. However, every strategy comes with risks. The next slide outlines the key risks and how they can be managed. Now let's look at the key risks and our mitigation strategies. Every strategies plan involves risks, so effective risk management is essential. The first risk is financial instability, which can be reduced through equity financing. The second is margin pressure. Expanding ITAD services will improve profitability and reduce the risk. To avoid over-expansion, we recommend an asset-light partnership strategy which minimize investment costs while supporting regional growth. Finally, improving operational efficiency through process optimization and technology adoption will help strengthen long-term performance. With these mitigation strategies in place, the Enviro can implement the growth plan with greater confidence. Next, I will conclude our presentation by summarizing our key recommendation. Next slide, please. Finally, I would like to conclude our presentation. To conclude, our analysis show that TM Enviro has strong growth potential, but long-term success depends on strengthening its financial foundation. We recommend several strategic priorities: securing equity financing, expanding IT services, pursuing regional expansion through an asset-light approach, and acting promptly to capture future opportunities. Together, these recommendations provide a practical roadmap that balance financial stability, profitable growth, and effective risk management. I will now move to our final slide. Next slide, please. On behalf of Group 16, thank you for your time and attention. We hope our presentation has provided a valuable insight into TM Enviro's future growth strategy. Thank you.
Thank you.